I just noticed something,
What's that?
and I don't know if anyone's ever noticed this before. There's voices in the background talking during the intro.
I did notice
Have
that.
you ever noticed that?
I
You
have never
did?
noticed it. Yep, I heard it
Okay.
today, but I've never heard it before.
You did hear it. Okay. I thought
Yep.
I was tripping for a minute. I was like, I hear voices in the back. I'm gonna have to go back and
I
listen
thought
and
there was
see
a
what they're
radio
saying.
on.
That's what I was sitting here. I was like,
Yep.
what is that noise? I hear voices in the background talking.
Yep.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, good morning, Service Alliance community. We are
Morning, everybody.
live for another morning grind. How you doing, Adam?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you this morning, TK?
Man, as I mentioned in the pre-roll, I'm exhausted. I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning the other morning, and life lesson learned: do not drink energy drinks. If you're not an energy drink drinker, do not drink energy drinks in the evening, because you will not be able to sleep. I drank one
I've
of
been trying
those
to cut back.
Celsius. Yeah, I drank one of those Celsius energy drinks the other afternoon. And man, that's I don't know what's in those things, but it's pretty hardcore, man. Like I could not sleep. I was literally up all night. So I'm a little draggy this morning, but I'm excited about this topic. Um, we got our boy Gary checking in, and Gary said he
Morning,
he
Gary.
has noticed. Gary's noticed the voices. So apparently, I'm the only
They
one
must
that
always be
does
there.
not notice the voices. We've got this fella checking in. Who is this? EJ's Appliance Repair. Man, look at that
I don't know.
cartoon.
I've never heard of him.
That is one sexy cartoon right there, buddy. I like that.
It
Um,
is.
Good morning, my brother. Consider calling me back today, EJ, if you get the time. I'm just saying. I feel some sort of way. I know you love me, but I want to feel the love. I want to feel it reciprocated back to me. I know you're busy, buddy. Keep rocking it out there. You're doing great.
Yep.
But good morning, Service Alliance community. It's Friday. We made it through
It
another
is.
freaking week, Adam. We made it through another
We
freaking
did.
week.
Yep.
God has brought us through another week. As me and you were discussing in the pre-roll, my week has been one of highs and lows and ups and downs, more ups than downs. But what we're talking about today fits perfectly within what's been happening this week. Because I have hired a new bookkeeper within the last few months. And when I
Okay.
tell you this woman has been a game changer, she has been an absolute game changer for my business. It took me a little bit to get used to her. Very, very sweet woman, very nice woman, but she
Okay.
is a no nonsense. She gets it done. And my biggest complaint, well, one of my biggest complaints about my former bookkeepers, which I've had, this is my fourth, was that they
That's a lot.
didn't communicate. Yeah, they
Okay.
didn't communicate. Zero communications. The only time I heard from them was when I reached out to them. Now I have the opposite. I have a woman that communicates so well and so much that it sometimes I'm not going to lie, it's taken me some getting used to. But man, is she doing a good job. She's hooked up
That's a
with
good thing.
Beth and they're going through helping. We're having regular meetings. I had a meeting with her yesterday. And today we're talking about what do I do with all this money? Exclamation point, exclamation point. I purposely put exclamation points at the end instead of question marks because I want you to be excited about making money in your business. I want you to be excited. I want you to get excited about being profitable. Last week, me and Adam talked to you guys about pricing and trying to target those specific customers. But today we're going to talk about, now that you got your customers locked in, now that the ball's rolling and the money's coming in, what do you do with all of it? What do you do with all your money, Adam? I know you probably got one of those Scrooge McDuck vaults that you dive in every day and do a couple of coins?
I wish I had that. I wish I had the problem of having too much money.
Right.
Normally, when we have a really good year and we have a profit, we invest it back into the business. We look at if we need new tools, new computers, new trucks, something needs to be fixed. Last year, we invested a ton of money back into our building. We fixed a lot of stuff that needed to be done on there. But when we get a profit, we try to put it back into the business as quickly as possible.
That's smart, man. That is good stewardship. And I'm gonna be real transparent as I always am. I've struggled with this. I've struggled with it a lot, but the Bible has a lot to say about this. And the main overall theme of this particular podcast is going to be stewardship. And we're going to be more correlating it to money, but I want you to think in the broader sense that everything God allows us to have, everything that God blesses us with, he expects us to be good stewards of it. Whether it's in your personal life, whether it's in your business, whether it's in whatever it is, your car, your tools, your children, you're to be a good steward over your children. You're to be a good steward over your wife. You're to be a good steward over your camper if you have a camper, your boat if you have a boat, your fill in the blank, whatever it is. But I got a scripture. We're going to pray first. You want me to pray us up, Adam?
If you'd like to.
I would love to.
You're better at it than I am.
There's no better at it when it comes to prayer, man. Prayer is just talking to God. So there's no better at it. Papa, we love you so much. We love you. We thank you for this day. We thank you for sleep. Thank you so much for sleep, Father. Thank you for the miracle that our bodies can shut down for 6 to 8 hours, and the miracle that you do within us each time we do it. I don't think we always appreciate that. And Lord, thank you for the things that you've allowed us to be stewards over, whether they be our businesses and all the things within it, whether they be our families, our personal assets, the money you allow us to have, and help us to be good stewards, Lord. You've really convicted me lately, and I thank you for it. And I pray that if there's any out there this morning that aren't being good stewards of the things you've given them, that you'll convict them the same. Convict them to repentance. Convict them to change. Convict them to do better. And Lord, you know I don't have it figured out, but I thank you for your grace. I thank you for my brother Adam this morning. I want to pray a special blessing for his family. Pray a special blessing for his business, Lord. Thank you that he was willing to get out of his comfort zone and come on here with me on these Fridays and share his heart and share his struggles and share his victories. I want to lift up every single business represented within this community, Lord. The ones that are killing it, Lord, just help them to continue further. The ones that are riding the struggle bus, as my boy Zach always says, help them, Lord, to take a look within, take a look in the mirror and figure out the problems that they're having. And the ones like me that are kind of in the middle, a little bit of victory and a little bit of frustration, Lord, help us to celebrate the victories and look at those areas of frustration and do better, Lord. We just thank you for the Service Alliance community. I thank you for my partners. I thank you for the team members that make this possible. I thank you for the Appliance Alliance group. And most of all, Lord, we thank you for your son, Jesus. We thank you for what he did for us. We thank you that all these things really mean nothing in comparison to what your son did. And it's in his mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
So I'm rolling on lack of sleep and my favorite drug, the Tech Circuit coffee. Shout out to Steve Morrison in the tech circuit. If you're not a member at the tech circuit, this is a shameless plug. We are not sponsored by the tech circuit, but I can tell you one thing. If you want to learn how to be an awesome tech, further than just the Alliance, the Tech Circuit Facebook group and the Tech Circuit website is a place to go. And one day, if you're really good and you pray really hard and you do really good, the Lord might bless you with the Tech Circuit mug like me. No,
yeah, I have
shout out to Steve.
Caffeine.
Are you, dude? I quit caffeine. I quit caffeine for months, and then I went to El Salvador, and I got one whiff of that sweet Salvadorian nectar. I mean, the Salvadorian coffee is next level. You hear about all these different coffees, and Saul talks about his coffee that he likes. What is his, Cuban or Colombian?
Something like that. No. I can't remember.
I think his is Cuban. Colombia is cocaine. That's what they're known for. But dude, the Salvadorian coffee is next level. Probably the best coffee I've ever drank in my life. But I got a scripture, and I'm going to share it with you guys. Luke chapter 16, verses 10 and 11. If you get a chance, go back and read this section of Luke. This is a parable. Jesus spoke in parables. And for those of you that don't know, a parable is an earthly representation of heavenly things. It is an earthly representation of kingdom things, things of the kingdom. When Jesus spoke in parables, he spoke of earthly examples of, but it always relates back to his kingdom. And in Luke chapter 16, verse 10 and 11, it says, blah, 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 blah. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. So if you have not been trustworthy in handling worldly wealth, who will trust you with true riches? So I know we have a broad group of people that watch this show. Many are Christians, many are not. But whether you're a Christian or whether you're not a Christian, this verse should resonate with you. If you cannot be trusted with the things of this world that God gives you, he is not going to trust you with the things of his kingdom. He is not going to trust you with spiritual riches. The thing, because let's face it, money is a huge part of life. Mm-hmm. Whether you want to admit it, whether you want to accept it, whether you want to embrace it, you better embrace it, because money is a huge part of life. And the title of today's message is, what do I do with all this money? Well, the answer is simple, yet very, very complicated. It's simple to say, but hard to do. It's simple in sharing. In sharing, you tell you what to do, but it's very hard to practice. And the answer is be a good steward of it. That's the simple answer. God wants you to be a good steward of the money that he gives you. In your business, in your personal life, in everything you do, God wants you to be a good steward. And don't you dare think for a second that if you're not a good steward with the little things, that he's going to bless you with the bigger things. I wanted to start off with this. Budgeting is the number one key to being a good steward. Planning, figuring out, sitting down and actually saying, okay, here's what we're bringing in roughly every month. Whoa, my light almost just fell. That was crazy.
Ooh,
that wouldn't have been
That's
good.
Not good.
No. But budgeting is huge. Every one of you, hopefully, have some sort of way of tracking how much you make every month. You should be able to look at your monthly income. Let's just say for a nice smooth number, you make around $50,000 a month as a company. You're a 2 or 3 man show. I think when I was a one-man show, I usually averaged anywhere from 20 to 25,000 a month gross. You should be
I
able to look
think
at that
that's roughly what we're doing right now
with each per person,
with just one man with me going out.
about 20 to 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty average. I think if you're a one-man show and you're doing $20 to $30,000 a month, you're doing pretty 20s, in my opinions, on the lower end. 30, you're doing really good.
Yeah.
But take that number and start figuring out your costs. Start figuring out what you have to put out each month and see what's left over. And then what I encourage you to do is figure out how you can survive off the very least possible. EJ, when he presents about profit first, he always does the example of squeezing that last little bit of toothpaste out of the toothpaste tube. I love this example, and it's always resonated with me because I do the same stuff every time. Man, when I get to the end of that toothpaste tube and we don't have an extra tube in the medicine cabinet, I'm rolling that bad boy. I'm good at rolling. I've got years of practice. I just roll that thing up and I'm pushing every little last bit out. That's what you need to do in your business. You need to drain that bank account down. Put that money away. Put it somewhere where you can't get to it. But you have to know how much. How much can you survive on? How much can you live on? I incorporated Profit First a few months back, right before the new year. And it's a hybrid version. I'm not doing it by the book. But
TK, can you explain what Profit First is?
Yes. Profit First is a book that basically goes over a system of budgeting and putting away your money so that you are running your business as lean and efficient as possible. I think the textbook way to do it, and I might be wrong, EJ can correct me in the comments if I am. The textbook way to do it is 5 bank accounts. So you have 5 bank accounts. You have one that's your main operating account. This is the account that all the money comes into. Once that money comes into that main operating account, you figure out a percentage for your other four accounts. The percentage is up to you. I suggest you start small. Start small, especially if you don't know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, start small. And these other 4 accounts, you figure out a percentage to put in them. One is going to be your tax account. One is going to be your emergency account. One is going to be your payroll account. And one is going to be your owner's draw account. And to be honest with you, you can name these accounts whatever you want. But the biggest one is your profit account. You have to have profit. If you're operating a business and you are not profitable, you're doing it wrong. You're not, and don't feel like TK's judging you this morning. I've spent several years not making profit. We are just turning this ship around, folks, if I'm going to be transparent and honest with you. But it's turning around in a
lot of years too if on a profit.
I can tell you right now that there's more companies out there that do not turn a profit than do. But if you want to turn stuff around and start making some money, change something. Start doing something different. I love this saying, and I use it all the time. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you always got. All right, EJ's chiming in because I knew I was going to butcher this. Income, taxes, emergency, profit, and operating. Those are the ones. The five ones. Income, taxes. I pretty much got it right. I said payroll, but income, whatever. But the key to this thing is, and I'm not encouraging you to do exactly what the book says. I'm encouraging you to at least start a profit account and start pulling profit out of your business. Right now, I have 3 accounts and I'm pulling 15% out of I'm pulling 15% out of what comes in and putting it into those accounts. And I've been doing it for a very short time. Very short time. I haven't been doing this long, and those accounts just keep growing and growing. And payroll week, everybody stresses on. Do you stress on payroll week, Adam?
There's some weeks we do, but normally we're pretty good at it.
Well, then you're doing awesome, man. Congratulations. Many payroll weeks I stress because I don't want to touch that. I don't want to touch those accounts. I don't want to have to move any money over. So I'm looking at things, and you know what it's made me do? It's made me sit down and microscopically examine every single penny that my company spends. And shout out to Wanda with Momentum Bookkeeping. If you're watching this morning and you're looking for an awesome bookkeeper, reach out to Wanda at Momentum Bookkeeping. I'm going to do a shameless plug. I'm not sponsored by her, but I am a happy customer. She is, and right now is a very special time. I'll just say this. She is looking to take on 4 to 5 new clients right now. She does not take on new clients anytime, like all the time. She's very particular. But she is looking to take on 4 to 5 new clients. And man, let me tell you, she has helped me so much. But I've started to go through my finances much more microscopically with a fine-tooth comb. I found, and y'all are going to laugh at me for this, I found a payment that was coming out of my tech. I have a tech operating account that used to be linked to my store that I had. And I found a payment that I've been paying $80 a month for the past 2 years. And I was under the impression that I was contracted into this payment and I couldn't cancel it. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to reach out. And what it was when I had the store, I leased a POS. I released a Clover POS. And I'm still contractually bound into that payment. So I reached out to my Clover consultant after I realized EJ didn't want to buy my Clover system. My light is giving me a hard time this morning. And I asked him, I said, man, is there anything I can do about these payments? And he said, well, call the main office and talk to them. I called the main office. First off, so there's 2 payments. There's a $79 payment and an $83 payment. I thought I was contractually, it's $160 a month, $162 a month. Yeah. I thought I was contractually bound to both of those payments. Come to find out, I was only contractually bound to one. I could have canceled the $79 payment 2 years ago when I closed the store. So for 2 years, I've been paying $80 a month for something that I don't use. And I know a lot of you are laughing at me right now, but I didn't know because I wasn't going through these things and asking the right questions. You need to ask questions about every single line item you see on your bank account, every single line item in QuickBooks. And that's what I did. So I called the leasing office. First off, I canceled the $79 one. But I called the leasing office and I said, look, I'm not using this thing anymore. I said, I have no plans. I'm never going to use it again. The store's closed. I said, what can we do? And she said, well, Mr. Cousins, it looks like you owe about $1,500 and so dollars left. She's like, let me see what I can do for you. And basically what she did, I'm going to mute you for a second, Adam. Basically what she did is she went in and she made a few adjustments, took my buyout payment down to half the price. It was like $720 or something like that. And she said, you can buy out the whole thing and ship the register back to us, and it'll be $720. So I saved $780, cut that other payment off. And part of me wants to be like, man, I'm so mad that I did something so stupid. But I just saved a bunch of money each month. I just saved $160 each month that I shouldn't have been paying to begin with. And these are the type of little things that you're going to notice when you start doing these things and start squeezing that. This is the squeezing of that toothpaste tube that we're talking about. As you're squeezing it out, you're like, man, I don't want to waste $80 a month. I don't want to waste any money each month. I want to get rid of every unnecessary thing that we're doing. And that's good stewardship. Now, good stewardship is not allowing an $80 payment for 2 years that you shouldn't have. But anyway, that's man, they want you this morning, Adam. You're gonna have to answer.
Yeah, we have a customer who keeps calling. And the store doesn't open until 8:30, so they're not going to get anybody up in the office until then.
But let me ask you this, Adam.
Yes.
When it comes to money, profit, knowing your numbers, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself?
Probably about a 5. I'd say we're right in the middle.
I'm about right there with you, man. I'd say I'm a 5. I'm a 5 pushing towards a 6. We got some viewers watching right now. I want to challenge each of you. Drop a number. Rate your business right now. And just be honest, man. This is the Alliance community. We're going to keep it real. Drop a number in the chat and tell me 1 through 10 how you would rate your business handling their finances right now. If you're a 10, here, I want to make this disclaimer. If you're a 10, please reach out to me today because I want to talk to you and I want to figure out how you did it. But I'm going to guess that everybody is between a 1 and a 7. We might have a few 8 or 9s out there, but I don't think there's a single person watching that can honestly drop a 10 in the chat. You can if you want to, and I'm not going to judge you for your lying. This is a faith-based podcast. Just remember that. But I'm going to imagine that we got our first one. Dr. Dan said 4.5. Let's see if anybody else chimes in.
I would say that this is probably the biggest challenge of our business is knowing the numbers and watching them as closely as we need to. It's a challenge that me and my mom talk about almost every day. We sit down every morning and we talk about the numbers and what we can do to improve things and keeping an eye on them. And it never seems to end. When you think you have it down pat, all of a sudden something pops up that throws a kink in it and you're back at square one again.
Yeah. And the beauty of the Profit First system is when those things pop up, you have that emergency fund. I have the emergency fund set up. And we had 3 vans go down in the last three weeks. 3 different vans go down. We only have 4 vans. Number 1, thank God for the backup van. Number 2, thank God that I had money. I had enough money. I had more than enough money in my emergency fund to cover all of it. So I never had to touch my operating account. Every single payment. I think the total, let's see, $1,200, $700, $36, right around $4,500 in maintenance on vehicles. That last year TK would have been scrambling. This year, let's go on the bank account. Let's transfer 5 G's over, put it in the operating account. It's done. It's over with. Man, thank God. And thank you, Jesus.
It seems vehicles are always the biggest part.
Always, man. Vehicles are always. But let me say this on the flip. What kind of maintenance plan do you have? That's one thing me and Austin are working on right now. Maintenancing, what is that saying? It's something like an ounce of maintenance is worth something of a pound of prevent or
something like
what is
that.
Yeah. If you know the saying I'm talking about, it's like an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of. My brain ain't firing right this morning. I apologize. But if you know that saying, let me know. We got a bunch of people checking in, and I apologize that I'm going slow. A to Z is checking in. We got our boy Garrison in the house. Good morning, brother. We got Fred in the house.
Morning,
we
Fred.
got my boy Eddie. I was just thinking about you the other day.
Morning, Eddie.
Hope you're doing well, brother. Who's this guy? Speaking some sort of foreign tongue. Saul? Is that his name? Saul? Buenos dias, mi gente. Hola, mi hermano. ¿Cómo estás? Dios te bendiga. ¿Qué pasa? Me and Saul should come on. Me and Saul should come on one day and do an entire podcast in Spanish and just blow y'all's minds.
If you can put the little English version at the bottom, what you guys are saying, that would be great.
You know what? I wonder if StreamYard can do that. Rolling years of oh yeah, I'm glad somebody caught that. EJ's checking in. Oh, we got another one. Gary Parsons said he's a 4. If you're a 10, that means you have no room for improvement. And we all that's what I meant by that, Saul. If you say you're a 10, you have no room for improvement. Dr. Dan said that the boss lady says 3. And you know what, guys? I want to hold on. Adam, I want to encourage everybody.
Yes.
Every single person that's watching this morning just made a monumental step in the right direction. You took a look at your finances, and you've probably done this for years, and you said, my finances are screwed up. I have room for improvement. Let's take a moment to thank God for room for improvement. And let's take a moment to thank God for his grace, for the simple fact that he has kept us and provided for us despite our shortcomings. Mm-hmm. But today is the day, guys. Today is the day to say enough is enough. I'm going to get my stuff together. I'm going to start doing it right. I'm not going to sit here pondering the path of procrastination. I'm not going to sit here meandering the maze of mediocrity. I'm going to get off my ass. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to start doing something about your books. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you always got. Do something different. I have money in my bank account right now. Thanks be to God, because I did something different. And what that different thing I did was I got somebody who knew what the hell they were doing to help me. I got somebody that knew about bookkeeping, and I paid them very well. But the amount I pay them is pennies compared to the money that I'm saving. So if that's you, I want to encourage you. EJ said 2. I want to encourage you this morning. Make a change, man. Make a change. Yep. Adam, let me ask you this, buddy. What would you say the biggest change you could make this week is? Let's say next week. You have a full week, 7 days.
I probably would say that the biggest change I could make in this week, I probably would say I would sit down and do exactly what we're talking about right now and look at our finances and figure out how we can manage them better. We have pretty much everything else right now under control in the business, but we could probably find a better way of controlling the money, because at the end of the month, it seems that's always comes down to being a problem around here is cash flow. And we could probably figure out a better way of getting more cash flow coming through the door.
Yeah. One thing that I would tell each of you to do next week or start this week. Today's Friday. You got 2 days left in this week. Sunday's a new week. In the next 2 days, sit down and take a look at your finances and ask yourself this questions. Number 1, are my books right? If your books aren't right, that's where you have to start. There's no other. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no other place to start other than your books. Your books
Yep.
have to be right. You have to be able to go in at the end of each month. I'm so excited about looking at my first quarter profit and loss statement. I can't wait because it's actually correct. It's actually true numbers that I can look at and see the heartbeat of my business. But if your books aren't right, you can't do anything yet. You have to get your books right to know your numbers. It's impossible to know your numbers if your books aren't right. So if your books aren't right and you have no way of getting them right on your own, hire someone. I don't care if you hire Wanda. I can tell you this. You better hire somebody good. Take it from somebody with experience. You better hire somebody who knows what the heck they're doing. But if your books are right and your profit and loss statements are right, learn how to read over your profit and loss statements. And I am no professional. That's why I have Wanda. But learn how. Get someone in your corner that can show you how to look at those profit and loss statements and figure out what you're spending money on that you don't need to be. Where can you cut some costs? What $80 subscription are you paying for a month that you didn't even know you could cancel, that you can cancel? And that's step number one, guys. Those profit and loss statements. Some of you are sitting there this morning like, profit and loss statements, what's that? If I say profit and loss statements and you say, what's that? Please, guys, please get a bookkeeper, because you don't know what the hell you're doing. I'll just be blunt with you guys. If you have no idea what a profit and loss statement is and you're a business owner, and I was there, guys, I was there. I knew what a profit and loss statement was for the last year, but my books were so jacked up because of this jackleg bookkeeper who I need to pray for, my previous bookkeeper, that I couldn't look at my numbers because they were so messed up. Every time I'd look at them, I'd be like, what is this? This isn't right. And start tracking things. Start tracking KPIs. Start doing the things that business owners do, and stop putting it off till tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
And even if your books are right, you have to dig a little bit deeper, because I know, like on our profit and loss statement, there's just subtitles of things. So like we have subscriptions, and under it doesn't tell me what each one is. It just tells me how much we spend on it. So then you have to go back and you have to look at your checkbook and at your bank statement and see who's actually pulling money out of your account. So it goes deeper than just looking at the profit and loss statement.
Yeah, and that is how you scrutinize your profit and loss statement. The profit and loss statement is going to show you the big picture. So here's the big picture. And then you have to start breaking it down into little chunks. Okay, well, here's my cost of goods sold. Here's my subscriptions. Here's my salary. I'm salary heavy. I am a very salary heavy. We pay our people good. We pay our people high. And we do that because we have great people. The first thing my bookkeeper told me when she started in, she goes, you are a salary heavy company. And then the second thing she said is, you are a very transactional high company. She said, I have never seen an appliance repair, and she specializes in appliance repair. Just so you guys know, my bookkeeper specializes in appliance repair bookkeeping. She worked in the appliance repair field. She knows appliance repair backwards and forwards. But she said, you are a very transactionally high company meaning that we have tons of transactions going back and forth all the time, because we're rocking and rolling, man. We got money coming in, money coming out. And that's a good thing. But if you're a transactionally high company, it's very, very easy for things to slip through the cracks. It's very, very easy. Do you have a system for making sure that your supply house isn't charging you extra or double charging you things? I'm not saying they're going to do it, but I'm saying accidents happen. And if you don't have a system in place to track the money going in, the money coming out, making sure that when you send that box of returns to Marcone and Saul's people receive it, to make sure that every single return that you return goes through your bank account. Do you have a system for that?
We do not. Not that I know of.
I suggest you put one together. It doesn't have to be complicated.
Yep.
It's simple.
I think my parts person watches it, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. When you send your parts back, you should have a list of what's sent back with the part number, the price of that part, and the date it was sent back. Just three simple
Yep.
Three simple, almost gave y'all the bird. Three simple things. And then in your bank statement, you're going to see those credits on your account. Or if you're a credit person, stop being a credit person. Pay as you go. I pay for everything as I go. I don't owe Marcone a dime. I don't owe Encompass a dime. I don't owe Tribbles a dime. I don't owe UED a dime. I'm one of those people that the debtor is servant to the lender. That's what the Bible teaches. So if you want to be a biblically based company, stop being a debtor to Marcone. Stop being a debtor to Encompass. Stop being a debtor to these companies. Pay as you go. If you don't got it, you don't got it.
The only thing I can say to that, TK, is I think you have to have credit if you're doing warranty, because like Whirlpool credits us back on our account when we use a part under warranty.
Another reason not to do warranty, folks. Another reason not to do warranty. Adam, we're going to bump heads on that forever because I'm anti-warranty. I love you. I love you. And I'll never discredit any business model because yours works for you.
Warranty is a headache, guy. I hate warranty. It really does drive a lot of problems.
You know what we should do one Friday, me and you? We should get Saul on here with us. And we should talk about this very topic with Saul. Because look what he said. I always stress parts. Make sure you watch parts. That's a part of the business that could get you in trouble real quickly. Y'all are hearing it from the horse's mouth. One of the best reps in the business, in my opinion, Saul Flores. Only second at Marcone to Cecilia, my rep. I'm just joking, buddy. Y'all are both equally loved in your own special way. But you're hearing it from Saul himself. He's telling you today to keep an eye on those parts. Keep an eye on those core charges. Did I just say a bad word? Core charges. How many core charges are floating around right now? Go to your Marcone account and see how many core charges you have. There's a way to do it. How many core charges do you have that you haven't returned? That's one of the cool things about Marcone. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, Saul, but I don't do the parts. I have a parts manager and he does an awesome job, but I'm pretty sure there's a way on your Marcone account to go in and see how many core charges you have out there in the ether that you need to return. I tell this story all the time, and maybe you can share your experiences with core charges. You need to be a good steward of your core charges. I cleaned a technician's van out one time. This was our second tech we ever hired. And we found, there were $60 a piece. We found 15 core charges. We found 15 core charges.
That's a lot.
Open box. And you know whose fault it was? Guess whose fault it was?
You can only blame yourself for not keeping track of it.
It was TK's fault.
Yep.
It was Austin's fault.
Yep.
It wasn't technician fill in the blank fault. It was our fault because we weren't being good stewards.
We kind of rely on our technician to bring the part back in when it's a core charge and put it on a shelf. And then I have a parts person who returns them when we get a full shelf of them. So we don't have a way of tracking them set up at all. So I couldn't tell you how many core parts I have. I couldn't tell you where they are right now. I couldn't tell you even if they've all been sent back.
All right, well, I'm going to drop a gem on you then. What system do you use?
We use ServiceWorks.
Okay. Is there tags in ServiceWorks?
We are still figuring out how to use the system to its full potential. We don't even have our inventory entered into it yet, or they're working on it. And then we've had it since COVID when SwiftLinks shut down. So we're still using SwiftLinks for inventory and ServiceWorks for managing all of our service tickets.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but ServiceWorks is appliance based, like it's specifically for okay.
Yep.
There has to be a core chart. Like if I'll put it to you this way, if ServiceWorks created an appliance based system and there's no core charge tracking system in there, then they suck. I'll just say that. I use work. Yeah, I guarantee you. But for you guys out there that say, oh, well, I don't have a system for checks. It's not hard, guys. This stuff that we talk about is not hard. Create a tag. If you have a tag in your system, tags are the freaking bomb. I have so many tags. Part comes in. Your parts manager receives the part. They do whatever systems you have in place. Hopefully you have a system in place for when your parts are received.
Yep.
If there's a core on that part, you go into that job that part correlates to. You put the tag on that says core charge, need to return to office. That tag stays on that job until that core charge is returned. At the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of whatever period you want to set up, your parts manager goes in and pulls a report, a job report. Hold on, man. I'm a screen share.
Sounds good.
I'm not good at this, and I don't know if we have time, but I'm just going to do it. Entire screen. So
I'm opening up my tablet here too to see if I can get ServiceWorks up on it quickly.
All right. Can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to go to reports. And y'all don't judge me, okay? Because y'all going to see some stuff. And all right, so here's my reports page. Go over here. Go to this week. You see all these colored things? These are all tags. Different tags that we have. Come up here. Core charge, return part to office. We got one core charge. This core charge is sitting on the passenger seat of my van. I have to turn it in this morning. I'm the only one. I'm the only person this week that has not returned their core charge. But these are the type of systems you guys have to start implementing into your business. If you do not put systems of checks and balances into place, you will fail. You have to have systems of checks and balances. I've been working on this for years, guys, years and years and years of putting together systems. You know why? It's not because TK is a great business owner. It's because TK is a horrible business owner that is very scatterbrained and very ADD. And if I don't have a system for something and a way to check behind myself, I'll forget everything. You know how many times a day I talk into this little box and tell it to remind me of things because I'm going to forget it all day long. Yep. All day long. I got a reminder popped up right now that tells me to cancel a subscription because I need to remember to cancel that subscription. I was supposed to do it last night, but I passed out because I was so asleep. You know what we should do, man, Adam?
What?
Me and you should host a webinar together.
A webinar?
Yeah, a webinar, a live webinar. And we should invite anyone in the Alliance community to come in, and all we talk about is processes and systems. Because if you're going to be a good steward, and I am not sitting here telling you guys this because I'm the king of systems and processes. I'm sitting here telling you guys this because I have struggled for the last 10 years putting together systems and processes. But I will tell you this. I tell
you that with 51 years, we still struggle with processes and putting things in place.
It is. I'm not going to say it's the most important thing in business, because I think pricing is the most important thing and one of the most important things too. But it's in my top 5. Top 5. If you do not have processes and systems, and not only processes and systems are good, but on top of processes and systems, the next thing that you need is checks and balances.
Yep.
A process and system, an SOP, without a way to run checks and balances on that SOP is about as valuable as the paper it's written on, to be perfectly honest with you. And if you're going to grow your company, I don't want to grow my company anymore. I'm perfectly happy where I am. If I spend the next 7 years with me and Austin and Ethan out there killing it the way I do, I'm perfectly happy. I'm making money. I'm doing a thing. But if you want to grow, if you even just want to grow to 3 or 4 technicians, which I think that's the sweet spot. I think 3 to 4 technicians is a sweet spot. But if you want to grow to 10, 20, 30, if you want to be a Doug Shear, or you want to be a David Costanza down there in Florida, or you want to be one of these Glenn Donnellys with 45 techs or however many he has out in Canada, I can guarantee you those guys have systems and processes. I can guarantee you they have ways of checking to make sure their core charges are returned. Because they've cleaned out service vans after a tech left and found 15 core charges.
Exactly.
Just like I did.
Yep.
Man, I went on a straight rant today, Adam. I apologize.
Anytime.
I'm
TK.
sorry, brother.
Oh, that's
you're gonna have. I'm gonna just be blunt with you, but you're gonna have to get used to it because I am just a scatterbrain. And today, like
I don't have a problem with it.
Like I said in the pre-roll, man, when I don't get enough sleep, my ADD goes from this to this, and I'm pegging the top of my ADD radar today.
I did look. I do think I can put tags in service works, so I'll have to look into that and see exactly what I can do with that here this week.
Awesome, man.
Yep.
Let's see what Saul says. We have a reporting for cores. Under reports, my reports, then select one core item purchase. There you go.
There we go.
Saul said you should have a weekly parts return calendar update. If not weekly, then bi-weekly. Yes. I love when I check my bank account every single morning. If you don't check your bank account every single morning, you better put that on your freaking to-do list. Now that's not your end-all tell-all. That shouldn't be the way you know your numbers. But if you're not checking your bank account every single day, you better start checking it. And I love it when I start seeing those returns come in. And then I know those parts are being returned. And Stone, my parts manager, can go in and reconcile. Reconciliation is super important. Reconciling your returns is called reconciliation. If you're not going in and making sure that those things are done right, Saul's a great rep. He's not the one checking your parts in. I'm almost sure Saul is not the guy sitting there checking your part returns back in. So whoever that guy is, don't trust him. Don't trust that Marcone's going to do it right. No disrespect to any of them. Fill in the blank. Marcone and Compass, all of them. Don't trust that they're going to do these things right. They're humans using computers. Mistakes are made. Doug is like
just like getting the wrong part in your box when you get it.
What's that?
Just like opening up a box and you have the wrong part inside of it.
Yeah. Yep. Or you open up the box that you can tell has been retaped.
Yep.
And you look at those terminals and you see those scratches on it and you say, what did you send me? You didn't send me a new part. And let me say this. If you're a person that goes out there and uses parts and puts old parts back in boxes, I know it happens. I've talked to guys that do it. Screw you, straight up, screw you. You're a piece of trash. If you do that, then screw you. That's all I got to say. Like, that's
if you put the part on, just buy it. Don't send it back.
If you put the part on and you use it, I'll tell you what you're doing. If you return that old part, you're stealing. You're a thief. Just straight up, you're a thief. Yep. Sorry. Yes, ServiceWorks has a few different ways to create reports, including with tags. I'm pretty sure, but the Mrs. is the genius. I love the way he typed that up.
Dan, we may have to talk because I think you know how to use ServiceWorks better than I do, and my front office might. So,
ServiceWorks.
Talk about that.
ServiceWorks is the one that EJ's just started using too. That's Super Panda, right?
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, Super Panda. Shout out to Super Panda. Shout out to ServiceWorks. I need to talk to them and get some sort of affiliate partnership going with them. I've heard really good things about ServiceWorks, and I might be on. I've heard.
Yeah, it can do a lot of different things.
We're wrapping it up. We got 4 minutes left. You got any closing thoughts, brother?
Oh, I just want everybody to have a good week and just look at your numbers and make sure that everything looks correct. And if you don't know what you're looking at, ask for help.
So
I have lots of people I ask for help, and they're always willing. It's never a bad thing to go to somebody who knows more than you do to get information.
Man, say that one more time.
It's never a bad thing to go to somebody who knows more than you do to get information.
Let's have a moment of silence for that. Just let that sink in. It's never a bad idea to go to somebody that knows more than you to get information. There's a lot of smart people in this community. And if you think that either of the guys on this screen right now are the smartest people in this community, then you are misled, my friend. I'm just one little squirrel out here trying to gather a few nuts for me and my family.
Yep.
But you know what? I want to be good stewards of those nuts. And this sounds really strange using the terminology I went with. But all you little squirrels out there running through them trees trying to get those nuts, be good stewards of the nuts God gives you. Man, this is really taking a turn for the worse. But as you're out there today, start on a serious note. When I hit end in 2 minutes, you're going to have a decision to make. You can keep doing the same shit, the same stuff you've always done. You can keep not knowing what your books are, not knowing what your profit and loss, whether your profit and loss statement is right, not talking to your bookkeeper. You can keep that crappy bookkeeper that's been screwing your books up for years, or you can make a change. You can say, you know what? I'm sick and tired of not knowing what my numbers are. That's what I did. And you can make a change. If you want Wanda's information at Momentum Bookkeeping, reach out to me. But you need to know what you need to do, what you're going to do with all this money. Some of y'all's problem is you don't have any money and you're not making any money. Trust me, brother and sister, I have been there. I've been there and it sucks. But if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you're sick and tired of not making money, and you're frustrated and you're fed up, do something about it.
Yep.
Stop sitting there just wondering and praying. Faith without works is dead. If you believe God can turn your business around, He's going to use you to do it. Exactly. He's not going to wave a magic wand. He's not a genie. So get off your ass and make your business right. Yep. I love you guys. I love you, Adam. Thank you, brother.
Oh, thank you, TK. I appreciate you too.
Yeah. Sorry I went on some rants this morning, but this is
not
serious,
a problem.
guys.
Anytime. I'm here to listen.
This is serious. Your business, your family, and number one, most importantly, your God deserves for you to be a good steward of the things He gives you. Y'all have a blessed weekend, and we will catch you next week.
Have a good week, everybody.
Answer that phone, Adam. Answer that phone.
Sounds good. Bye.
See y'all later.
Thanks for tuning in to the Service Alliance Group podcast. Make sure you visit our website at servicealliancegroup.com for home service business resources.